Hey folks, so I have a 1992 Ford F-150 with a 5.0. It's a single cab four-wheel drive. I will show pictures, maybe. It has 218,000 miles on it, and I've done a lot of work to it recently, and I figured that because I don't know a lot of things, and there's hardly any videos on YouTube how to do any of this stuff, like that, at least I would take you along for the journey and see where it leads. As of right now, I have replaced water pump and timing cover, upper lower rad hose, all the heater hoses, and of course regular maintenance. I have a new battery in it from Walmart. I have, let's see, not a lot of other stuff. I've just kind of keeping it stock. It sits on 31 by 10 5s on 15s, and it's a good little truck. I've had it since I was 17, and I've not really had that many problems out of it, so I keep it. It's also my pride and joy, and as much as I work on this thing, you'd think that I would hate it, but I really don't. It's my favorite vehicle I've ever owned, and I've had a few. Let's see. So I'm thinking right now we've got a coolant leak, and I'm not sure if it's going to end up being freeze plugs or a head gasket, but to me it looks like a freeze plug, so I think that's where I'm going to go with it for now. Or not a freeze plug, I'm sorry, a head gasket. So I think that's the way I'm going to go right now, and then if it is a freeze plug, we'll worry about that right now. See, the only thing that I've noticed is like the two-wheel drives and the four-wheel drives. It seems like the two-wheel drives are a lot easier to get to the freeze plugs without pulling the motor. And I know for one, the starter's in my way, and then for the ones in the front, it looks like the whole front chunk is in the way, and I don't know that I can get to it without pulling a bunch of shit off. So yeah, let's see how this goes, and I'll bring you along for the ride if I can. So I'm taking the radiator off and pulling all the hoses off and stuff, and I don't know about anybody else, but I like to put my hose clamps on the end of them where they're supposed to go and tighten them right back up. That way I don't lose them and I don't have to go buy new ones, because buying new stuff like that is just time consuming and irritating. I live about 30 minutes away, 45, from the closest auto parts store, and it's just a pain in the butt, and I just don't like to go that far. So basically right now what I'm doing is I'm going to pull the radiator out, and then I'm going to pull this cover off and the air box, and move all this stuff out of my way, and then we'll go from there. It shouldn't be too bad. I don't really know. I've never gone in this deep before. I know I've got fuel or oil leaks everywhere, but I guess we'll find out how bad this is going to be, because it looks like a pain in the ass, and I really don't feel like dealing with it. But this is my only form of transportation, and it's got to get done sooner rather than later, and I'd rather not take it to a shop, because I know they're going to pay they're going to make me pay an arm, a leg, and a left nut too. So you see the new water pump and all that gasket maker. Yeah, I had so many leaks out of it that I just quit dealing with it and just went ahead and put some gasket maker on there. All right, well, let's see how far I can get before I come back to you. Also, I don't have very many specialty tools. I have some brake tools and stuff for brake drums and some hammers, that kind of thing. I do have some line wrenches. Those are really, really handy. right now I'm pulling off the transmission lines from the radiator right down here and here. Those are just in the way. I want to get them out of the way so that we can kind of have a little bit of room to work. Let's see, size. These guys are double-sided, so they have two different sizes on them. Let's see. See what size this guy is. There we go. To answer that question, it is a 1/2 inch. This just kind of, you can use regular wrenches. They're fine. Except sometimes they get to where they'll slip off and you'll round off your head on here, and then what do? Well, you gotta replace it, because at that point it's just about too far gone to fix. So since we got that off, we're gonna go ahead and go to that lower hose, if I can get to it. Let's see. I don't think I can hold the camera in. There we go. Yeah. Where's my ratchet at? There it is. I keep seeing videos about how people think working on these things is difficult, but I'll tell you what, you get underneath a newer car and your problems on these things will melt away. Because there ain't nothing easier, unless you're working on something from maybe carbureted, but even then, yeah, I mean, you got your difficulties everywhere, but these things are a lot easier than a lot of new cars. Try working on a 2022 Ford F-150. How about that? I mean, you try that and then get back to me. And I'm not an expert. By any stretch of the means. There we go. Looks like I'm gonna have to get some new radiator fluid. That's always fun. Parts list. All I'm doing right now is taking everything apart so that it'll be easier to work on. I don't have money for the parts just yet. Probably won't for a few weeks. We'll see how things turn out. I mean, I have a house, so that comes first. Just drain all that coolant out. Beat the old ass radiator off everything I own. That's perfect. Always good for them. Okay. Let's see where we are. Alright, so next is to get the fan off and the belt. For me anyway, that's the way I like to do it, is get the belt and the fan off. Anything on the accessory drive that's going to get in my way, I'm going to go ahead and pull off. So mostly just the tensioner, the fan, and the belt. If you need to know, the tensioner, to pull the tension off of it, is a 5/8, and to take the tensioner assembly off, it's the whole thing, it's a 3/4 inch. And then let's see, then we'll take all the hoses off and the air box, and take this off, throttle body. We'll see where we go. Hey guys, sorry I'm back a little later. I've kind of just started working on this thing. I accidentally broke my distributor pulling the intake off, but as you can see, there, and a little bit there, it's rusty. That means I'm thinking that the intake or the heads are leaking, and the truck has had a really bad oil leak for a long time, as you can probably tell. So I guess this is kind of two birds, one stone. I'm going ahead and pulling off the heads now, or not the heads, but the intake manifold. Be really careful with all these vacuum lines, because they're really brittle, and as you can see, I've broken several of them. I'm gonna go ahead and replace them once I get everything that I need, but just something to be aware of and to watch out for. But yeah, this is what I have so far. This is my intake. Looks like my well, shit. Smog control EGR is trash, so that's something I don't have to really worry about. Here's my intake. Looks alright. Still the factory one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint it black and then sand these down real nice and make them shiny and stuff, so it kind of sticks out. I don't know yet, but it's, you know, peeling, so you gotta do something. You gotta figure something out, make it look better. And here is my throttle body. Thought about getting a new one just because, you know, why not? But I don't have the money, so we'll just stick with the old one and hope to God that it works whenever I put it all back together, because I've never done this before and this is kind of a learning experience. I did save the cap and the rotor, but I guess since I'm gonna have to get a new one anyway, I'm gonna probably get the whole thing. But anyway, yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and give you a little bit of an update. I haven't really done much. I have to work today and I'm still in PJs. I work third shift, so this is just me kind of coming out here and piddling around a little bit. So we'll see how much I get done, if I get anything done at all.